Okay, let's unpack this. Think about it starting from, well, nothing, a complete void.
Right. And out of that emptiness, we get this incredible story,
Yeah,
the Shinto myth, about how Japan itself began.
exactly. We're diving into the birth of Japan, a Shinto creation myth today. It's really foundational stuff.
It really is. And what strikes me is how it begins, not with a bang, but almost conceptually.
How so?
We have these first beings, Ano Mitakanushi, Takami Musubi, and Kami Musubi. They're described as invisible, eternal.
Like ideas almost, whispering creation into being.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It's this very subtle, mysterious emergence from absolute nothingness, not your typical creation figure.
That's interesting. Then things get a bit more tangible.
Yeah.
With Izanagi and Izanami.
He who invites and she who invites.
Yeah.
They get the big job, actually shape the world, give form to the formless.
So how do they do that? They're like standing somewhere.
They're on the Amena Ukihashi, the floating bridge of heaven, and they have this spear, a jeweled spear.
Okay.
They dip it into the chaos below, the sort of primordial ooze or sea.
Mm-hmm.
And when they lift it, a drop falls back down. Just one drop.
Yeah.
And that becomes the first island on Agorashima.
Wow. Just from a single drop, that's quite an image creation starting so small, almost delicate.
It is. And it's on that island, on Agorashima, that they come together.
Their union.
Yes. And from that union, the main islands of Japan are born. The text describes them as divine, pure.
So Japan itself is seen as like inherently sacred right from its birth. That connects to so much in Shinto, the reverence for nature, for the land itself.
Absolutely. It imbues the land with this deep spiritual significance. It's not just ground. It's born from the gods. You know, exploring that connection between myth and place is something Mythos Sutra delves into quite often.
Good point. It explains why natural features, mountains, rivers, trees, can be seen as kami, as deities.
Precisely. The land is divine.
But the story isn't all a straightforward creation, is it? There's tragedy, too.
There is a major turning point. Izanami gives birth to the fire god, Kagutsuchi.
And that doesn't go well.
No. The birth injures her terribly, and she dies. She descends to Yomi no Kuni.
Yomi, the land of the dead, like an underworld.
Exactly. The Shinto land of the dead, a place of darkness.
And Izanagi tries to get her back, right?
He does. He goes down to Yomi, desperate to retrieve her. But he fails. He sees her decaying form and flees in horror.
So that introduces this fundamental separation, life and death, light and dark.
Yes, it's a crucial moment. Creation isn't without loss or separation. It defines the boundaries of existence. You see similar themes in myths worldwide, actually something you might explore further if you follow Mythos Sutra.
Right, so Izanagi gets back to the world of the living, the light, and then...
He needs purification. He washes himself in a river to cleanse the pollution of Yomi.
And this washing is important.
Hugely important, because as he washes, new powerful kami are born from his cleansing.
Ah, this is where the big names come in.
This is it. From his left eye, Amaterasu Omikami, the goddess of the sun.
The sun goddess, okay.
From his right eye, Tsukuyomi no Migoto, the god of the moon.
Sun and moon, born from his eyes after seeing death.
And from his nose, Susanoo no Mikoto, the powerful god of storms in the sea.
Wow. So the major forces governing the world, sun, moon, storms, they emerge directly from this act of purification after confronting death.
Exactly. It connects life, death, purification, and the very structure of the cosmos. And these aren't just any deities, they're central figures, especially Amaterasu.
So when people refer to Japan as the land of the gods, it's not just poetic license, it traces right back to this story.
It absolutely does. The islands themselves, born from gods, and then populated by these incredibly important kami born from Izanagi. It's fundamental. Again, understanding these foundational narratives gives such insight, like the stories featured on Mythos Sutra.
Okay, so recapping, we went from like zero, this void, through these almost abstract beings to Izanagi and Izanami shaping the land, the birth of the islands, then the tragedy of Yomi.
And the purification leading to Amaterasu, Tsukuyomi, and Susanoo.
Yeah, it's a whole journey: creation, love, loss, death, rebirth, the divine light emerging. It covers so much ground.
It really does. And it makes you think, doesn't it? How these ancient stories provide a framework, an identity for a culture.
Definitely. How they explain not just origins, but values, beliefs, the relationship with the natural and spiritual world.
These themes, creation from chaos, the cycle of life and death, purification, they resonate deeply.
They really do. If this kind of exploration into foundational myths fascinates you, you'll definitely find more stories like this from all corners of the globe by following Mythos. They really dig into this stuff.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. How do the creation stories or origin myths, influence how you see the world around you? Something to ponder.
That's a great question. Definitely gives you something to think about. For more deep dives into mythology and sacred stories, be sure to follow Mythos.